Wednesday Live, YouTube edition. Is that what we should call it? YouTube edition? Anyway, welcome to another Wednesday. We're going to hang out here in the shop for a while and chat it up, hang out, drink a little coffee, or whatever you happen to be drinking. Let's do this. I might need to adjust this thing just a little. Not sure yet. Just kind of getting things situated here. How are you guys this morning? Wednesday. Halfway through the week already. It's kind of crazy. Doesn't even seem like it should be. Shouldn't even be that case. But I hope you guys all enjoyed your nice long weekend. If you're in the U.S., I don't know about other parts of the country. If you celebrate Labor Day or anything like that, but here in the U.S., Monday was a holiday, and most of us had the day off, but still getting work done. We were still getting work done. At least I was, anyway, and quite a few people that I know. Also, we're working, and yeah. But man, I went to the store. I went to the store on Monday to get some supplies. There was a whole lot of people there that were not laboring on Labor Day. But oh well, it's all good. All right, we got some guys popping in here. How are you guys doing? Welcome to the live stream. Andrew, what's up, brother? How are you doing? How are things going there down under? Blackbird's back. Court is back in session. Yes. Oh man, I'm slacking on that. I'm slacking. Oh no, need a piece of wood. Tiniest scrap of wood ever. We're back. Yes. How are you guys? Khalid, hi. What's going on? Oh, Khalid from Kuwait. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. I'm doing well, thank you. How are you doing? Thank you for joining. I'm glad you were able to stop in, hang out with us for a while. Andrew, right on. I'm glad you are doing well, my friend. Right on. Thank you guys for stopping in, hanging out. The good old live. That's what we do. We're just hanging out. So how are you guys all doing? I hope you're doing well. And yeah, we are, well, like I just mentioned, here in the U.S., we just celebrated Labor Day on Monday. And now it's already the middle of the week already. It seems crazy. It's like it's taking its good old time. Sorry, I got distracted there. But it's going by really fast. That's what I meant to say. But anyway, what do we got here? Blackbird says you're putting that restored hand plane to good use. I have gotten some use out of it already. Yes, I have. Made some little brackets for the project that I'm working on right now, and I was able to use this plane right here to shape those brackets down a little bit. Just kind of shaving them off there. Actually, the brackets right here, they're getting some finish on them. Was able to take it down. I had to get some right sizes at the top and the thickness, and it'll all make sense when the video comes out what those little dudes are for. But working pretty good. Nothing super heavy duty yet, but I was using them for that. Man, it cuts really nice. Let's see here. KSFWG. Hi, everyone. What is up? What is up? Andrew says, spring has sprung in Oz. Awesome. Now you are going to be, how long before it gets really hot down there? Are you still, you probably have what, till, if you're only in spring, you probably got a couple months, I'm guessing, right? Before it gets really hot? I don't know. Maybe it doesn't get that hot where you're at. I'm not sure, but Blackbird says, yep, just a few chats ago, we were smack dab in the middle of summer. Now we're getting ready to wrap it up. I know. Can you believe that? It's just crazy. And my daughter has been in school for a month already. Can you believe that? I can't even grasp that. when I was in school, or at least, well, I shouldn't say even that, but when my particular school didn't start till after Labor Day. So it would be this week would be when we used to start school, and we used to get out like around the 1st of June. The first week of June, maybe the second week of June, and it wasn't summer really for me until you hit July. July and August to me is summer, not even based on the seasons, but just because you're out of school. There's no school for July, there's no school for August, and then you started, the beginning of September. And in my daughter's school, they get out about mid-May, and they start the beginning of April. So really, it's kind of the same time off, but it's shifted by almost a month. And for me, it just makes the summer feel really short because you can't plan anything in August. So you have to do all your stuff in June and July. And this is her third year at this school, and I'm still not used to that. So to me, June's off the books. It's still in my brain. I haven't got it through my head yet that we got to start planning. Let's see. Andrew says, not long now, a couple of months, and yes, it gets really hot. So you got a little bit of time to soak in the spring. That's crazy that I have to think opposite when I'm thinking the other side of the world, which is isn't that amazing, Andrew? You're on the complete other side of the world, but yet we're hanging out. And it's so awesome. We're hanging out, drinking some coffee. Well, it's late there. Are you 1 a.m.? 1 a.m., right? Whew, that's late. Blackbird says, and you think time moves slower during the summer? Guess not. Or maybe it's our perception. No. As a kid, I'm reminiscing. Reminiscing now. I remember the summers seemed like they lasted kind of a long time, right? You had all this summer, these months off. We used to, do bike riding and vacationing and whatever, and it seemed like it went, like we had a lot of time. But as an adult, I think it seems to go by a lot faster. I don't know. Maybe it's just because you're trying to plan everything and get stuff done with the kids or family or whatever it is, and yeah, it's nuts. Harry Dude's back. Right on. Harry Dude, I hope you are doing well too. Are you enjoying your spring? That's what Andrew and I were just talking about. I don't know how far apart you guys live. I'd have to look that up. Welcome. Dennis is here. We are going into fall in Fairbanks. 40s in the morning. Oh, man. Yeah, I have some friends that live in Alaska. A couple of different areas. I want to say at least one of them lives in Fairbanks. Or at least in that area. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, we're getting 50s in the morning. This morning we were about 50. I think it was, man, I'm not 100% sure. I know we were definitely upper 50s, and we've had like a 51 degrees. I haven't seen 40 yet, but I don't think it's far off, honestly. We're almost there. We're almost there into the cold season. Neptunes! Hey, how are y'all? Watching from Texas. Right on. Andrew, talking to Harry Dude. Blackbird, so what have you been up to since the last video? Well, it's funny that you asked that. I am in the process right now. Can I pick this up? I don't know if I can pick this up without causing you a big deal here. It's kind of, yeah, it's sort of dry. I'm finishing. It's a little sticky yet. I'm in the process of finishing this slab hall table. I should have had that done probably a week ago, but I had a snag with the finish. I ordered a special finish, not a special finish, but I ordered a different kind of finish that I wanted to try on this, but I had some sort of delays with getting that finish out, so it kind of held me up for almost a week where I wasn't able to touch that project. I had to move a different direction. Last night, about 7:30 or so last night. I came out here and I was able to get the first coat of finish on here. That dried overnight, sanded it down 5:30 this morning. I'm out here, sanded that down with some 220. Actually, before I even had any coffee. My coffee was brewing. I came out here like all tired. Sanded that down to get a coat on there. Probably gonna do that 2 more times. I'm hoping by the end of today I will have that last coat on there. It can sit overnight. Tomorrow I'll bolt this thing together and wrap up the video on that. So now I'm in crunch mode. I'm trying to work late and early on this to get this thing done. And also in between working on that, I have been doing a little bit of sharpening. I'm doing a video on sharpening some lawnmower blades because I've actually had a couple people ask about that. How do you sharpen lawnmower blades? So I just did a video that is right now. It's posted. Well, it's not live, but I got it uploaded yesterday. Everything done with that. So right now, I'm almost done with this haul table project. I finished up the lawnmower blade video. Did that kind of while I was waiting for this finish. Hope this all makes sense. Sorry if I'm rambling. Now that I'm thinking about it, I might just be rambling. But yeah, just kind of wrapping up some projects so I can get back to the guitar. That Sassafras guitar that's been taking forever. I've been trying to wrap up some of these other projects. This haul table one I wanted to get done just to get the little slab piece out of the shop. And thankfully now, man, it's looking really nice. Like I had to use a different finish than what I originally planned, but I cannot wait to get this thing put together and in its final spot. So it's pretty cool. Let's see here. What do we got? Neptune's 50s, nice. We're still in the 80s. Yeah, we've been getting cold. I'm in Colorado. For those of you that don't know, or if you do know, just that's where I am. I'm in Colorado, just outside Colorado Springs. We're getting cold mornings. It's still getting pretty hot in the afternoons, 80s. I think yesterday we only got to the upper 70s, but I think today it's supposed to be hotter. So, but yeah, we're still getting nice days. It just has that cool feel in the morning. Khalid, 50 Fahrenheit. Really? Wow. Yeah, I guess I've heard it's gotten kind of cold over there. You said Kuwait, right? Yes, Kuwait. Let's see. Sorry, guys, I'm reading comments here. Brian, what up, Brian? Brian's here. Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? Sorry if I keep looking over that way once in a while. I got there's some work being done here, so there's like a contractor guy coming in and out. It's kind of distracting once in a while. Because I keep hearing noises. Giovanni's here. Good evening, my friend. How are you? Bam, present as always. Right on. Thank you so much for stopping in. I'm glad you were able to. Andrew says, I got some nice camphor laurel rounds today and a couple of silky oak slabs. Ooh, camphor. Camphor is some crazy stuff. Man, that smells so good. I have a local hardwood dealer that lives not far from here. And they have camphor out there. JW Hardwoods, if anybody local, out east from me. They got a lot of stuff. I got to get out there today. I got to get some stuff ordered for a project. I got a cool project coming up. I'm not going to give it away just yet, but it's going to be fun and something very different. Very different. Yeah. But I got to go order lumber for it. Silky oak. What is silky oak? Is that like a figure, or is that a type of oak, or what? What's the difference between a silky oak and like a white oak or red oak? Yeah. KSFWG. Rambling is okay. It's probably what I do best. I'm with you, brother. Blackbird says, I remembered years ago when I watched your video on how to build an electric guitar, you mentioned being left-handed. That makes 2 of us. So what kind of hardships do you commonly run into? Honestly, the biggest hardship I run into really is cutting. Scissors and I would say guitars. but that's not such a problem anymore because I've kind of gotten past that. But I used to have quite a problem with guitars because, yes, lots of companies make left-handed guitars, and this was before I started making them or was able to even bolt, to assemble one from parts. The only the electric guitars that I could find were black. And honestly, it didn't seem like it mattered what brand. Fender, Ibanez, everybody that made a guitar that was reasonably priced was black. So for a little while, every guitar I would buy used guitars quite a bit, because when I would find a guitar, a lefty, like a used one, I used to hit pawn shops all the time. The music stores, when they would have a used one, all of them were black. So it got to be where I would buy them, and I've had my brother paint them. My brother's an automotive painter. I would take them apart and take the bodies to him. When I would go to visit in Pennsylvania, I would take a body with him, and he's painted several bodies for me, just so it wasn't black. But so that was a little bit of a struggle, but not. I mean, it wasn't like a hardship, but definitely was annoying. And then scissors. Now scissors are not an issue. I can cut fine, but I have to cut with my right hand. I cannot cut with my left hand. Can't do it. It feels weird. It's uncomfortable even with left-handed scissors. And I believe that the schools, my school at the time is to blame for that. I'm not knocking my school or anything, but because they never had left-handed scissors, so I always had to use a right-handed pair of scissors. Because if you try to use a right-handed pair of scissors in your left hand, it doesn't work. So you have to use your right hand if you want to cut. And once you get used to it, you can't. At least I can't switch. Speaking of left-handed, since you are left-handed, do you notice, I can always tell when somebody at the grocery store is left-handed. Like if I'm checking out, they have the thing for the bags, like almost every grocery store, and then, well, at least around here anyway, they'll bag it, and then they spin it, and then they bag the next bag, and then you spin the next bag. You can always tell when someone's left-handed because they spin it opposite of everybody else. If you never notice that, pay attention to which way almost every single person spins it, and then when someone spins it the other way, you will notice that they're left-handed. That happened to me the other day. The cashier was spinning it the other way, and I asked her. I said, "Are you by chance left-handed?" And she's like, "Yeah." How did you know? I'm like, "Oh, you spun the thing the opposite way." She's like, "Ah, I didn't notice that." Yeah. All right, let's see. Khalid, we reach 120 in the summer. Oh my goodness. Whew. Well, we don't get that hot here, but we will hit over 100. I think the highest I've seen here was about 103 or 4, I think. But you have to remember too that where I live is almost 7,000 feet in elevation, 7,000 feet above sea level. I don't know what the elevation is in Kuwait, so, or even how that relates, honestly. But I think the sun, as you get higher, there's something about the sun is more intense. So when it's 103 here, it's pretty toasty. It's not 120. It's not like Arizona or Kuwait, but it's still pretty hot. All right, let's see here. Okay, so Andrew says has a lot more sheen to it. So is that the silky oak already has more sheen than a standard than like a white oak or something like that? That's interesting. I'm gonna have to look into that. Neptune says, I didn't know camphor was a wood. I know it is a little white waxy block you can put in your tool drawers to prevent rust. It is a wood, and I believe that's where all of that, like the camphor and what is that stuff? Like the Vicks, the Vapor Rub stuff. I think that's where that stuff comes from. I could be wrong on that. I'm not a scientist or an expert on that sort of thing, but I think that's where it comes from. And it smells really good. Like you scrape off a little bit and smell the wood. Smells really nice. Andrew says cinnamomum camphora is a species of evergreen tree that is commonly known under the names of camphor tree, camphor wood, or camphor laurel. Cinnamomum? Does it smell like? Is it anything like cinnamon? That might be something different than I'm thinking of. Huh, interesting. Blackbird says, as far as guitars, I'd say one annoyance is that if you're going to buy instead of building, you're virtually out of luck if you're looking for a 12-string. Oh, gotcha. Okay, took me a second to register that. You're going to buy instead of building. Yes, my friend. I want a 12-string. And it's not something that I'm going to buy like today, but I've got an eye out for it. Like, if I find one, if I happen to come across one, I want one. Haven't seen a lefty. I bought an old 12-string one time for like 20 bucks. It was a righty, and it was a piece of junk. And I bought this thing used. I mean, it was just sitting behind the counter at a local music shop, and I think I gave the guy 20 bucks for it. And my intent was to basically flip the bridge and try to make it a lefty. And yeah, this was quite a few years ago, and probably if I did it now, I could probably pull it off. But at the time, it was bad. It was bad. I ended up like filling the bridge slot, cutting a new bridge slot to flip the bridge the other way, and it didn't go good. I ended up selling it, I think, for another 20 bucks. But yes, a 12-string, if you find any, a lefty 12-string, and you don't plan on buying it, if it's a good deal, let me know. I might be interested, depending on where it is. I mean, if it's something I can order and ship or whatever. But Brian says it got to 136 when I was in Kuwait. What's the point of that? 136. That's crazy. That is crazy. Crazy. Khalid, what is the highest that you have seen when ever experienced over there? And I don't know, where you're exactly in there, but what's the highest temperature you've ever seen over there? Because 136 degrees, that's just craziness. I cannot imagine. And is it dry? Does it get humid there? Is it like a humid 136 degrees, or is it dry? Because apparently that makes a big difference. That's what a lot of people say. But to me, it's still hot. Andy! Hi, it's a rainy 59 degrees in Manchester, UK. Nice! I wish we'd get a little rain. We're not 59 degrees, but we could use a little bit of rain. It's getting kind of dry around here. Welcome from the UK. Blackbird says, I went looking for a semi-hollow body 12-string electric. Lefties are so rare. You feel like you waste your time bothering to look. Yeah. Once in a while, I'll just browse around. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Uncle Redneck. Hey, bud. Been watching for a while now. Like your stuff. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Uncle Redneck. I feel like we're related. And that's pretty cool. Uncle Redneck, where, if you don't mind sharing, where are you at? Where's your, what state, country? I feel like have we talked before? I think we have. Brian. Yes, it's humid and dusty and sand fleas. Are sand fleas are they like regular fleas? But they just live in the sand? Flea or deer fleas or whatever. Chad's here. What's up, Chad? Chad says, I've got a hurricane headed my way. You can have some of that. Hot rain. We have too much. Oh, well, I hope you stay safe, my friend. From what I hear, the hurricane has lost a lot of its momentum, but I mean, honestly, I haven't been following it too close. So I don't know. Stay safe though. All right, do what you got to do. But I'm glad you come in and hang out. Hopefully you don't get any kind of flooding or anything like that. I'm not even sure where that hurricane is right now. Oh, let's look that up. Wow, it's almost 9:30 already. Nah, I'm not looking that up. It's too slow. Andrew says, been following that hurricane. It's terrible on the news. Yeah, well, that's kind of what the news does. They want it to sound terrible. Chad, can you give us an update as to what you know of that hurricane right now? Because I know exactly what Andrew's been saying. They make it sound really bad. And maybe it is. I don't know. And Andy says we've had about half a dozen sunny days this summer. Lots of rain. Yeah, depending on where you at, what part of the country. Yes, they've had a lot of rain. I know that. Seems like my hometown in Pennsylvania has gotten a lot of rain. They've had a lot of rainy days, a little bit of flooding, but it seems like you get a couple of nice days and then boom, rain. But everybody is having challenges being able to get out and mow their grass because the yards are so saturated and wet that it makes it very challenging to get out there because if you're trying to do like a riding mower kind of thing, you're leaving ruts all over because the ground's so soft. Uncle Redneck says, my recliner, sitting at home, waiting to go to work. Northernmost part of Virginia. Okay. Working on a gift box for my sister's wedding, my first time doing hand-cut dovetails. Yes. I need to venture into the dovetail realm. Box joints and all that other kind of stuff is what I've typically done. But dovetails, it seems like something I should try. I need to get a dovetail saw, or at least some kind of a saw, and give it a try. Blackbird says maybe I should give you some of our town's rain. I live in northeast Ohio, and my town is shrouded in this cement gray cloud, and either rains or snows almost every day of the year. Well, that's a drag. It sounds like a lot of people say it rains a lot in Seattle, like that area. I've never been to Seattle, but it's always kind of gloomy. And I've also heard that about like I don't dare say because I don't remember if it was like England or what, but some people say that it's kind of rainy over there. But I don't know. Tommy Star Inc. Morning, sir. Good morning, my friend. How are you? Any new projects? He says, yes. I am in the process right now of wrapping up my maple slab hall table. I hope to have the last coat of finish on that thing tonight. So today is kind of a scramble day. I can't work on a whole lot because I've got the slab sitting right in front of me. It's just dry enough that I can pick up. There's all kinds of figure going on in this thing. Look at that. There's like all kinds of stuff. But I am crunching on that right now, trying to get that done because of some delays that I've experienced. But we are past that. Now I'm just working on applying. I put the second coat of finish on that thing early this morning. I'm going to do another one probably right after this live stream, and then I will do one more tonight, let it dry overnight, put this thing together. Tomorrow I'll wrap up the video, at least the filming process for this table, and then I will get back onto the guitar that sadly has taken the back seat, and I got to get that thing done, and then we'll move on to some new stuff. I got to order wood today for an upcoming project. It's gonna be pretty cool. So been pretty busy. Mainly this hall table. I'm trying to get this done. This is a piece of wood that's been sitting around the shop, and the reason I started on it was because I know we're going into fall, which will soon lead to winter, and I gotta clean up. Knowing that I need to be able to have some heat going and stuff throughout the winter time. I'm trying to clear out what I can around the shop, and this was one because it just was laying there, and I just need to get it done so I can clean it up for winter time. So trying to wrap that up. We'll be back on some new stuff. Andrew says Japanese saws are good for dovetail work. Yes, I've been looking. What are they? Are those the dozukis? Are those the right ones? I don't know if I got that name right. But yeah, I want to get some saws, or at least a saw that I can use for dovetails. Probably a new coping saw as well. Coping saw and like a Japanese, is it a pull saw? Yeah, something like that. So just to get into, and I wouldn't even mind trying to hand cut some box joints, or finger joints, more box joints. I guess they'd be bigger, but that'd be kind of cool. Maybe not a. I want to try dovetails too, but. Let's see. Ken! Oh, Ken's back! How did I miss that? Ken, welcome back! Ken's in Oregon. Yeah, it rains, but not like northeast rain. Just overcast. Northeast? Yes. Northeast rain. Just overcast and drizzle. Sometimes the drizzly rains are better, I think. As long as they don't last for days and days. But yeah, just like an all-day drizzle really soaks in. I think it's great for the ground, but I'm not an expert in that matter. But by the way, let's see. Blackbird says, I know this is probably outside your purview, but I recently found out about it. What do you think of the proposed plans for the U.S. to acquire Greenland? And no, it's not a joke. I saw something about that yesterday. And honestly, it sounded too crazy for me to even investigate it some more. I thought it was some hoax headline, honestly. Is that really a thing? Are we looking at buying Greenland? Is that I don't even know what to say. I thought, isn't Greenland their own country? How can we? I don't know anything about it, honestly. I think it's kind of crazy and wild sounding. I thought Greenland was its own entity. Hold on here. Hold on. There's you guys are good. Let me teach me. There's comments blasting in. I like it. Blackbird says I researched it. Chad says my comment was too long. It says, oh, really? Huh. Blackbird says the U.S. tried to do it twice. Estelon says Greenland is part of Denmark. Chad says it belongs to Netherlands. Neptune says Greenland. Whatever happens. Andrew said, oh my goodness. Strategic location and natural resources. Yeah, I honestly, I don't have any say on that. I don't know anything about it. I honestly, when I heard that, I just thought it was kind of some spoof headline for something. I'm not too, I don't know. I can't control it either way. I don't want anything to go bad. Anybody's mad at us or we're mad at somebody. I'm not mad at anybody. So I'm just going to go with that. So let's move on. Greenland. I'd like to go there, though. Has anybody been to Greenland? Because it sounds like a really cool place, I think. I think it'd be cool. I like snow and ice, and I don't know enough about it, but it sounds like it'd be a cool place to visit. Ken says, weeks and weeks of drizzle. Depression sets in for a lot of weeks with no sun. I understand you there. I get that a little bit in November. So for those of you in the U.S., you'll know in November we have daylight savings time, and we have to move our clocks back an hour, and that means it gets dark really early. Those of you in other parts of the world, I don't think you have to do that, right? You don't have to mess with your clocks. It's weird. It's silly to me. But or maybe you do. I don't know. But anyway, the fall, man, that really gets me. I don't like the daylight to be. I don't like it to get dark at 4:30. I mean, it's going to already get dark at 5:30. That's early enough. But now that we have to move the clocks, it's crazy. And so I know what you mean. Like for a few days after we move the clocks, I really I feel down. I really do. And nothing. I don't have to change anything with my schedule, my routine, my days, any of that. It's just I just get down on it. I don't. I'm with you. I'm with you. So Chad says, going back to the hurricane, that the hurricane has calmed down a lot since the Bahamas. Still could be bad, but could miss us too. Well, that's good. I hope it does. I hope the bad part stays out to sea, and you guys aren't affected or anybody over there. Ken says, yeah, that too. Yeah, daylight savings. Uncle Redneck says, when I first saw your show, I thought you were in Canada. There's nothing wrong with that, but no, I'm not. I am in Colorado, just outside Colorado Springs, at the base of the Rocky Mountains. I can't see it from right here, but if I go out past the shop, kind of out towards the road, I can look out at Pikes Peak, standing at 14,000 feet of elevation. Right here where I live is 7,000 feet. So that might be why, you see a lot of snow in the wintertime or late even in the spring. I'm still dressed kind of warm. It's cold. It gets cold here. Our winters are very long. Andrew says, yep, set our clocks forward 1 hour in October. Okay, so you guys do that. I learned something today. See? That's why another reason why I so appreciate the fact that we can all hang out on this live stream. Even if, I'm just rambling. We can't actually talk to each other, but through the comments and things, I learned so much from you guys. So, Blackbird says, I felt the same way about it. I felt that maybe a second opinion would wash away the absurdity of it, but I guess I'm far from alone about it. No, I don't know. Harry Dude says most of Australia has daylight savings. So most of Australia. So that kind of has got me thinking. So apparently there's some areas of Australia that don't do it, which is also strange because we have the state of Arizona, or I think it's all of Arizona, or not quite all, but most of Arizona is that they don't do it. But I don't think it's the whole state. So that in there is kind of screwy too. I honestly, my opinion on the daylight savings, and I speak for only me, you may have a different opinion. I don't think we should do it. I would say stay on the summertime, whatever it is right now, leave it there. Stop changing the clocks. Leave it here. Like the daylight where it is. Oh, let's see. Andy in the UK too. Oh, so UK does it. KSFWG, gotta go. Bye, everyone. Right on, my friend. Thank you for stopping by, hanging out for a little while. I appreciate it. Next week is going to be Facebook. 2 weeks from now, we'll be back here on YouTube. So, if you can, that'd be awesome. Have you back in here, hang out. Albanes won. Some provinces in Canada don't. Really? Isn't that weird? How it is not even a standard thing. It's not even all of like one whole country or one whole state or a province or something. It sounds like it's mixed, and I don't understand why. That's crazy. Brian says 2 or 3 states don't recognize daylight savings. Really? There's more than Arizona? Huh. Do you know which ones? I might have to look that up. Ken says, trying to keep green. Oh boy, Greenland from Russia or China. Oh yeah. Neptune says that would be confusing if you travel a lot in Australia. Well, it would be. Yeah, it would. How do you know? The other thing that always throws me off is what if you lived like we have the different time zones when you travel across the country. When I travel from here to Pennsylvania, we cross 2 different time zones. What if you lived right there by the line? And you lived in one time zone, but you worked next door in the next time zone? Do you always have to have 2 sets of clocks? Or like, you don't want to be late for work, but you got to get up an hour earlier or later. Yeah. Oh no. Blackbird says, is there a state you haven't visited that you're hoping to at some point? I'm looking into checking out Maine in a year or so. Well, that's because I'm thinking about relocating there. I would love to go to Maine. That's Maine. Maine is one. My thing says reconnecting. I hope I didn't lose you guys. I hope you're still there. Maine would be one that I would like to go to. I would like to go to Montana, which isn't all that far from me. I'm going to open this door. I'm getting a reconnecting thing here. Maybe that'll help. Signal. Sorry if I'm losing you guys. I hope not. Hopefully this thing will pop back on. Why does it say reconnecting? I don't like that. I don't like it. Are you guys with me? I hope. I'm even going to disconnect my phone so it's not using the Wi-Fi. Hopefully that'll help. Okay. Chad says he can hear and see me. Okay, good. For now, I'm going to ignore that thing that says relocating. But Blackbirds, back to yours. Sorry about that. Maine is one I'd like to go to. Montana, I would like to go to. Those are the two that really come to mind. Australia would be pretty cool as well, I think. All right. So anyway, Neptune says, I say get rid of daylight savings. I am with you. Uncle Redneck, time change was invented in California. It might have been. I don't know. I've heard lots of different reasons as to why it was started. And they all sound like it was a good idea. But now I just don't feel that it makes sense nowadays. Neptune, you were watching each arm. Yeah, this is like my... Did you hear that? I thought somebody was crashing. Those tires squealing there for a second. But anyway, yeah, like you got your work watch and you got your home watch, and that way you're never late. Harry Dude, can be confusing. No daylight savings in Western Australia, Northern Territory, or Queensland. Okay. Yeah, I can see how it would be confusing, especially if you were anywhere near any of those. Andrew, I'm in Adelaide, and the capital city is 1 hour, 30 minutes behind us. 30 minutes? How does that... Wow, didn't know that either. It's not just hours, huh? Time zones? How do you get 30 minutes behind? Interesting. Man, see? I love it. Uncle Redneck says I'm still there. Well, that's good because I'm doing this on the iPad and the little thing is just going round and round and it says reconnecting. I'm trying to ignore it, but it's very distracting. I don't know why. Nor how to get rid of it. Brian says Arizona, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, and some overseas territories. Really? Hawaii doesn't do it either, huh? Nor Puerto Rico. Well, and those two, I can sort of see they're not attached to, the mainland. So I could kind of see where they could do their own thing, kind of. But Arizona is part of the U.S., like the lower 48, and I don't know. It's weird. Andrew says, "Come down under, brother. You can stay at my place." Man, you know what? If I would love. That is one country that one of the few that I'd love to come down there. There's a lot of countries that I would like to go to. I'd like to go to Europe. I'd like to go to. You know what? If I had the opportunity to go anywhere, I would. I would travel anywhere. See all of the countries. I think it would be so awesome just to travel around, look at stuff. I don't know if I would ever get that chance, but I would love to come down there. Neptune says Australia is a dream location. Yeah, it'd be pretty cool. And I've met so many people that live down there. I mean, I feel like I could, come visit you guys. That's awesome. Andy says it was introduced in World War II in UK so that farmers could harvest longer. Don't know about other countries. Yep, that's one thing that I've heard. That it was so farmers could have more daylight. I've heard that it's so kids don't have to go to school in the dark. So you have the light in the morning. I've heard it has something to do with saving electricity. And I can't think of, I mean, I know there's been other things. None of them really make sense anymore. Blackbird says, I've gotten a bit tired of being in the urban environment. So all that's gonna screw with me more than any plant life will. Yes, it will. I grew up in the woods, basically. I grew up in the country in Pennsylvania. I basically had zero neighbors. Nobody lived near me. I couldn't see my neighbor's house. It was amazing. I grew up working on a farm, and just that rural life, that's me. And that's why I'm like, I don't live anywhere near as rural right now, but I don't live in town, and I'm very thankful for the location that I'm in. Although I'm right by a very busy road now, especially now, everything's growing so much. There's a highway there. Well, it's a 2-lane highway right by my house, and it's getting so busy and noisy. But the fact that I only have a couple neighbors, I'm very happy with that. But it does not beat that rural living. Harry Dude says, come to Melbourne, you can experience every different weather condition in a day. That would be awesome. That'd be awesome. I need to make a map. I should make a map of like where everybody is, so I can kind of remember everything. I'm starting to get it a little bit more, but I have to look it up on a map to kind of start putting that place, with where you guys live. But it's kind of like that here. There's some days you could, it'd be cold, and then, yeah, you'll get all kinds of weather, especially late spring. Oh my goodness. You're going to get snow and heat and, ugh. Uncle Redneck says, what's the hardest wood you've ever worked with? Was able to get a slab of holly and never will work with it again. I've never worked with holly, but I have heard that it's very hard wood. Probably the one that I like this, but it is a pretty hard wood from what I've done with it is Purple Heart. I'm not going to say it's the hardest at all, but every time I work with it, no matter how I'm cutting it, I burn. It burns. I can use a new belts or new blades, and I get a lot of burning, and I have to spend a lot of time, getting it cleaned up. And it's a beautiful wood. I love Purple Heart, but that's one that I have quite a bit of it that I want to do some cool projects with. But for me, it's kind of hard to work with. For me, it's kind of hard to work with. Andrew, true, Harry Dude. Now, Blackbird says Ireland or Glasgow, Scotland seems like it'd be interesting places to see. Yeah, I like all the countries. If Khalid's still here, Kuwait, I would like to visit that. I'd like to visit, some countries maybe in South America, like all over. One that I would like to go to, and this sounds crazy, Antarctica. Uncle Redneck, it's got to take off. Right on. Thanks for stopping in. 2 weeks from today, we'll be back on YouTube. Next week, we'll be on Facebook. So if you get a chance to tune in over there on the Facebook page, cool. If not, 2 weeks from today, same time, same bad channel. Thanks for hanging out. Chad says, I agree, it's outdated. Yeah, daily savings. Yep. Neptune says, I would like to work wood, but I don't have many woodworking tools. I do mostly metal. Just got a new mill and a lathe. Ooh, nice. That is something that I miss, doing metal working, like machining and all that sort of thing. I learned to do machining. I am not a machinist. I'm just going to say that right away. But I learned on a Bridgeport knee mill, and I really like that Bridgeport. Someday I would like to have one in the shop. I learned on a Bridgeport, and I forget what the metal lathe was that I learned on. Clossing? Is that I don't know. But it was a pretty good size one, and man, I just love the things that you can do, just like wood, the things that you can do with a mill and a lathe, and just some tools like that. They're not small tools, but yeah, that's really cool. What kind of mill did you get? Neptune says I lost the feed. Oh no. It still says reconnecting. I don't know why. I'm gonna try something. I'm still here, guys. I'm just trying something here. Nope. I'm trying to get rid of this reconnecting thing. It's not working. There's a lot of racket going on outside, but anyway. There's people pulling in. Hopefully I don't get interrupted here. It's possible. Hang on, guys. Like I mentioned, there's some contractors doing some work right here, and it's kind of interruptful. Is that a word? Let's see. Andrew says Jera. Jera is really hard, but a beautiful red color. Ooh, that sounds interesting. I'll have to look that up. Sorry, I keep. I don't know what's going on over there, but I'm trying to keep an eye out. My daughter does that to me all the time. Blackbird says a YouTuber I watched was riding through Colorado, and he observed that riding out of New Mexico into Colorado felt like a rageful storm coming out of nowhere because, yes, so many people are moving there. Yes, it's depressing. Brian, I think maybe you can agree. At least where we are, I mean, it's we're an hour south of Denver, and when I moved out here, this was basically where I live outside of Colorado Springs. Was really quiet, kind of horse property, a horse country, I should say, kind of ranches, pastures, cattle fields across the road from me, and it was a kind of a not country, but like a westerny kind of feel. And, we're like you picture a western kind of movie, the open range and all that stuff. And there was a lot of that land around here. It's not anymore. It's all being built up. I mean, it bums me out. It really does. Yeah, it's growing so fast, and the cost of everything now is out of control. At least here in Colorado, my areas. Now I'm sure there's other areas of Colorado where that's not the case, but overall, it really bums me out. Like the houses, everything is so expensive anymore. It's like it just exploded because there's so many people, to your point, that are moving in, and everybody's buying houses, and it's almost like no matter what it is, people are buying them. It's just crazy. Roy's here. Greetings from the UK. Love the channel. Thanks, Roy. Welcome to the channel. Thank you. I'm glad we can hang out. And just so you know, I do these hangouts every week. Just a live hangout. Every 2 weeks, I'm on YouTube, and then the other. Ooh, oh, I lost you guys there for a minute. That was scary. That was scary. So anyway, Roy, thanks for stopping by, hanging out. Neptune says I'm back. Oh, good. Yeah, Brian says the city is overcrowded. They just keep building. I know it does it gets old there. It's nuts. Even out here, man. Mr. Doughboy, hello everyone. Welcome back. I'm glad you're able to tune in. Andrew says back again. I know. Yeah, it's Harry Dude also. Yeah, it just dropped out even over here. It just said disconnected, unable to connect. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully, like contractor guys are not messing me up. Ooh, one's leaving. Yeah. All right. So anyway, sorry about that little interruption there, guys. But hopefully you all are able to still see me. I can see you guys now. So hopefully all is well. I'm really starting to smell that finish now. It's feeling, it's just a teensy bit tacky. But hopefully in the next hour or so, I'm going to sand this thing down. I'm sanding it with 320 in between coats. A lot of times I only go with 220, but this one I want it to be like super, super nice feeling. So I don't know how much difference that's going to make, 320 versus 220, but we'll find out. Let's see, Blackbirds is still with us after that little disconnection there. I think due to them becoming increasingly decrepit and overcrowded and are seeking nicer places. I agree. I think that that's highly possible. I don't know how to respond to that. But do something better, move to a better place. Because yeah, some of the cities are not somewhere I would want to live. At least some of the areas I've seen. But even Denver, there's a lot of really nice places in Denver. But there's also a couple places in Denver that I wouldn't want to be there, which is sad, right? I mean, why? I don't know. I'm not an expert about that thing. Andrew says, sanding, your favorite task. Yes, it is. The part I don't mind about sanding finishes in between coats is you don't really, like, I'm not trying, I've already got it down to the surface finish basically that I need, right? I'm not sanding I'm not trying to remove wood or shape or anything like that. So really I can just zip zap across the surface, make sure I touch all the areas, but you don't have to spend a ton of time. So that part, I don't mind it so much. But getting up to that point, yeah, it's not cool. Chad says, I'd like to be further out than I am, but we bought in a neighborhood for our kids. We have 5, but we do have a half acre, which is nice. Yeah, so you got a little bit of space. So that's always good, rather than some of the areas. I'm sure you have them too. There's some spots where, you can almost reach out a window of your house and shake hands with your neighbor next door. And that part, that's what they're building a lot of right here, right nearby. And I don't live, not right, you know what I mean? Not right where I live, but right up the road. I mean, they're building neighborhoods like that. Houses look really nice and everything, but they're that far apart. So yeah, the fact that you got a little bit of land there, that's good. Keeps you a little bit of space. I'd like to be farther out now too, but the challenge is that I have to take my daughter to school. There's not a bus, so if I move farther out, then I got to drive farther every day, twice a day. But I don't know. You got to give up something for something else. It's almost what it seems like anymore. Let's see. Roy says, same here. Oh, yeah. Chad, yeah, we have a nice garden and a few fruit trees. Cool. Yeah, we have I tried to garden out here a few times, and I've gotten some vegetables and things out of there. It's so hard to garden here because it gets so hot. So you have to water a couple times a day, and that is difficult to do. It's not like, you can't even, really, you can't travel. If you're going to take any time off, like out of town, you've got to have somebody that is willing to come to your house or take care of your stuff. It's so hard to garden because it's so dry. I can't rely on the water in the ground to keep a garden going. The only thing we do have right now is about a 4x4 strawberry patch. I got about a dozen strawberries in there. They're the best strawberries I've ever had. It's really cool, but I water them every day. Neptune says, my daughter is in a good school district, but it is scary here during hurricane season. The house flooded. Oh, this house flooded twice. Your house flooded? Oh, man. Yeah, I can imagine. That's one thing that we are very fortunate living right where I am. You can get tornadoes around here, and we actually had a very, very, very small one, really just across the field. It's probably quarter of a mile, maybe, up the road. A tiny one blew some, like there's an RV storage unit, and it blew like some RVs and stuff around, and But we don't get really anything bad here. We don't get flooding. We don't get tornadoes. Once in a while we get some hail, but it's not that bad. Chad says, I haven't had to water the garden in over a month. Roy says, I've always been a country boy, but the towns and cities are slowly getting closer to us. Yes, I feel the same. I grew up in the country, I mentioned earlier, and all that sort of thing. And yeah, the cities are moving closer. That's one thing I really enjoy about where I grew up. For the most part, the area around where I lived is almost unchanged. I probably shouldn't even say that out loud now. But there's a lot of spots there that it's the same as when I moved out here almost 20 years ago. Chad says, oh yeah, and we have raised beds. Yeah, I have my strawberries are in a very small raised bed. Neptune says, I would like to move somewhere else too. Have 3 years before she graduates. Yeah. Yep, I know what you mean about the school thing. Like my daughter, like I really like her school. It's a really good. It's really good. Ken says, try volcanoes. Man, I don't know. That's. Whew. I don't. That's almost worse. I think. I mean, all right, a flood. I don't know. I can't even relate like those kind of disasters. Neptune says, I like being just outside the city. I'm not a country guy. Nothing wrong with that. Like, what do they call it? Rural? Not urban, right? Urban is down, like in the city. Suburban. The suburbs. There you go. That's it. Harry Dude says, I'd like to move out of Melbourne, but there's no work for me in country Victoria. Okay. So you live there because your work is there. That makes perfect sense. And it's hard, right? If you want to move, you have to be able to support yourself, your family, with some, with a work of some sort. And if there's no work in your field, you either have to change fields and do something different, or you stay there. So it's tough. It really is, especially, in the last, I don't know, 5 years or something. I've been kicking things like this around. Do we move? Do we, what do we do? And when you start to think about your family, you have to take care of your family, your kids, right? I mean, obviously those are all of our top, like our most important people, right? The ones in our family that live with us. You got to take care of them, even though that means you have to give up. Like I'd like to just pack up and move somewhere, but that's not maybe the wisest choice. You can't just do it on a whim. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. When I moved out here, it was like, sure, let's go. I'll move. Boom, we're going to Colorado. And it really didn't affect anybody because no one relied on me, But it's all different. I guess that's part of being an adult. Blackbird says, we talked about automobiles in the 4th live chat. So since you seem to have nearly every tool known to man, would you ever take on restoring a classic car? If so, which car or cars would you restore? Absolutely. The answer to the question is yes, 100%. Restoring an old car is on my list, and I don't quite have every tool known to man. I don't have room for that many tools, but yes, I want to do that. If it was going to be a car, it would probably be something like a 68, 70 Chevelle Nova Camaro, something like that, or a 67 to 72 Chevy pickup. I love that body style. That is my favorite body style. I'd like to find about a 69 or 70 short bed, but short beds are getting so hard to find anymore. That would be what I would want to do. I mean, there's a lot of other cars out there that I would consider owning or working on, but if I had my pick, that would be what I would choose. There's a lot of them that I would do, but yes, I want to do that. I want to find I want a car that I can work on, and just do project videos. Not as a maybe not as a whole like a restoration overall, but hey, today we're going to replace the floorboards, and we're going to rebuild the front suspension in another video, and just have like a whole playlist of um, uh, just kind of restoration videos. One of them fixing, maybe replacing a rusted out area, welding in a new patch panel. Just a whole playlist of different things like that. I think that would be fun. Blackbirds. Oh, would you do normal home built workshop videos? Yes, I would. I would. It would be a whole separate, like I just said. I didn't even see your comment. I would do them in pieces, not as an overall. Hey, today we're going to restore a car. But like an intro. Hey, here's the car. Here's what we're going to do, like an overall, and then we would just do piece by piece throughout. Maybe not everything, but I would do. Yes. Hey, today we're priming. We're preparing it for paint, and we're going to replace this rocker panel, and we're going to do, sections, a whole playlist for that. Yes. Neptune says, how are blizzards there? We get them, and they are no joke when they hit. I was stuck in one time. This was about 3 years ago, I think. The blizzard hit. I went to work and it's nothing. So you get to work. There's no snow, and shortly after that, the snow starts coming, and then the wind picks up. And by about midday, about 11 o'clock or so, it started to get bad. So I was able to leave work early that day, and I think I left around 11:15, something like that. So that was right about when we had lunch at the time, and so I was able to get out of there. And I only live about 25 minutes away, and so I took off, and where I worked is 15 miles from my house, and I got a couple miles, probably 6 miles away from work, and you have to climb. You climb an elevation on the road home. It's not like a mountain road or anything, but the elevation rises quite a bit, and by the time I got about halfway home, I couldn't see a thing. I mean, it was complete whiteout. Luckily, I was on a stretch of the road where there was nothing really going on. It's just a straight stretch, a 4-lane road, and there was just me and a whole string of cars. Well, they closed the road while we were all on it, so we all just sat there all afternoon. So this was probably about 12 o'clock by the time I got stopped. I didn't get out of there till I think around 6 or 6:30 that evening. I mean, so it wasn't like, I was stuck in the car right in front of you, and we all just kind of sat there. Luckily, in the wintertime, you don't let the gas tank get low, because you never know what's going to happen. So I always, I had a full tank of gas, so it wasn't a big deal. But it was kind of boring, sitting there. I didn't have snacks or, anything like that, any coffee. But, I ran the radio and ran the truck, and it was fine, but they're no joke. And then again, this spring, March of this year, we had a bad one. Obviously, this was March, so I had was already working from home now, so I didn't have to go anywhere, thankfully. But we had a blizzard hit, and really, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, there wasn't really anything happening. But by about 9, the snow had started to fall, and the wind is what gets you with these blizzards. Sorry, I'm rambling about blizzards, but this is a crazy story. So it was really nasty, cold, windy. So I wasn't even out here in the shop. I was working inside, doing some editing. All of a sudden, somebody pounds on the door. This is about noon. Bang, bang, bang on the door. And we're like, what in the world? We answered the door. This guy was stuck in the blizzard, and it was trying to walk, and had lost his way, and could barely. This was incredible. He could barely stand up, like almost frozen. And he had, of course, we took him in and got him some hot coffee and stuff, and it was crazy. He had gotten stuck in the blizzard and thought he was by his buddy's house, and lost his way. Somehow, by some miracle, I guess, found our house, and ended up spending the afternoon and spent the night there with us, and we were finally able to get out the next morning. But blizzards, man, it's crazy. When they say blizzard warning, and when that weather hits, you really get inside. It's crazy. I'll never forget that. Me being stuck in one, and that guy that got stuck and stayed here. But it was kind of cool because I mean we had, we spent basically a day sitting around hanging out, watching the snow blow around. Got to become friends. We went over to his place, or hanging out, and it was kind of cool. Neptune's 69 Challenger. Well, I missed some comments here. 69 Challenger. That would be your car of choice. Very nice car. Harry Dude says, work and families in Melbourne. A lot of friends have moved away to larger properties outside of town, but when I could be gigging, working anywhere around Melbourne, traveling. Yeah, I know what you mean. And Melbourne is a fairly large city, right? I don't know the population, but so I can imagine, yeah, if you're trying to travel around there, I could see that being an issue. Blackbird says, well, then would you accept parts donations from your audience? I suppose so. If somebody was interested. I have a dirty secret 2001. Says sound is low. I don't know why. I haven't changed anything on our end. Maybe it has something to do with the signal. Maybe I don't know. I didn't change anything here, so I'm going to try to talk a little bit louder. So I apologize if you can't hear me very well. Blackbird says blizzards, tornadoes, and hurricanes galore. This is America, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I don't think we're not the only place that gets bad weather. Jesse says hello. What's up, Jesse? Andrew says sounds fine in Oz. Okay, good. I have a dirty secret 2001 66 Chevelle 396 425. Yeah, 66. Was that the one? Was that the square body Chevelle, isn't it? The 66. They changed it to the rounded one in, was it 67 or 8? I think the 66 is the more boxy one. Let me know. I think it is. No, not now. Sounds good now. Okay, good. Yeah, I like the Chevelles. I like most of the years of the Chevelles. A friend of mine had what was the Chevy 2? Oh, that was a Nova. It was like a 66 or 64, something like that. I think a 66 is a square one. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Having dirty secrets. Oh, it was my comp. So it was you. You blame me. No, kidding. You didn't blame me, really. Just give me a hard time. Well, we are 73 minutes in. Need to probably get to wrapping this up. Move on. Like I said, I've got to get to the lumber store, get some lumber ordered for an upcoming project. It's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to this. I got to get that done. Let's see. Have a dirty secret says big square 67 round. Okay, yep, that's what I thought. So I like that square style, and also it's very similar to the Nova around that year, kind of squared, like they're very similar. Blackbird says tornadoes are horrible, but they do make for good action entertainment, and the whole cow in a twister will never not be funny. What was that movie? What was that? I can't remember the name of it. Probably something silly like Twister, but what was that called? I can't remember. Andrew says, yep, he was Twister. Andrew says, yep, time to blow this pop joint. Great chat, brother. See you next week on Facebook. Right on, Andrew. Thank you, my friend, for stopping in. We're going to wrap this up here real quick. And yeah, we'll hang out next week. Facebook. Same time. Right on. I like it. Hold on. Yeah. Your little emoji guy. Blackbird's Twister. Yeah, it was Twister. I remember that. That was a long time ago. Right on. Andrew's out of here. Thanks a lot, Andrew. Well, guys, I need to wrap this up as well. I got some work to get to. I got to get another coat of finish on this slab. Then I got to do some running around and check in with these contractors, see what's going on. Actually, I think they might be wrapping up. I don't hear anything going on over there. So, but yeah, got to get some projects done. Got to get some videos edited. So if you guys didn't catch it before, you hold on. Let's see. Dirty Secret says, have bell rung. Never got a notice when you went live. That's weird. I wonder why. Interesting. Harry Dude, cheers. Catch you in 2 weeks. Right on, brother. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Andy says, thanks for the insight. Keep up the good work. Thank you, my friend. Next week, we will be live on Facebook, 9 a.m. 2 weeks from now, back here on YouTube. Every other week, we'll be spending this time on whatever platform you choose. If you can join us on both, that'd be awesome. Make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel and ring the bell. I'm not sure why you didn't get the notification, though, from ringing the bell. I'm not understand. I'm going to have to look into that, make sure things are okay on my end, but make sure you're subscribed. Thank you to those of you that are subscribed. I really appreciate it, you guys. I love this time when we can just hang out, get to know each other, drink some coffee, shoot the breeze, all that kind of stuff. Dirty Secret says, live on Wednesday all the time. Yes, right now, every Wednesday I'm doing a live stream. I'm doing it every 2 weeks on YouTube, and then the other 2 weeks I'm doing it on Facebook, so I'm alternating right now. Because there are some people that want to hang out, that are only able to hang out on Facebook for whatever reason. Some people only hang out on YouTube for whatever reason. Some people hang out on both. So this week, YouTube. Next week, Facebook. 2 weeks from now, YouTube. Check it out. If you want to see the schedule of all the live streams, head over to the Facebook page, a Homeboat Workshop Facebook page, and you can click the events and see the calendar of when things are posted. But just know it's every other week for whatever platform you choose. So every 2 weeks, YouTube. Every other week in between is Facebook. What else? Yeah, make sure you're following the page, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for your support. This is awesome. These live things are so fun and enjoyable for me, and right on. So that being said, wrap this up. Thank you guys for hanging out. I can't say that enough. Till next time, thanks a lot for watching.